Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kyle and you're watching Autopilot, where I fix stupid junk box cars like this 2016 Honda, which is my girlfriend's car. It's got over almost 2,200,000 miles. It's a 2016. The previous owner used this as a taxi car for his clients and stuff. So right now what we're doing is through a code for a p0400 and something, pretty much through a bank 2 sensor to O2 sensor code, and then an oil pressure sensor code, which is turning off the cylinder deactivation system, which is right here. Now I had to go get it's 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, by the way. And I had to get a I had to get a 24mm socket because they didn't really just say anything about it, and Home Depot did not have it, and I had to get 11/16, which is close enough. So what we're gonna do today is to get rid of those codes. We're gonna remove that oil pressure sensor and change it with this brand spanking new one, and they're color coded. Sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're brown, sometimes they're updated, sometimes they're not. But that's the brown one, and that's the brown one. So we're gonna change that real quick with my handy dandy. So we're gonna stick that in there. Break it loose. Take that off. Now, if you're using a 1/2-inch ratchet, be very careful, because these threads are not that thick, and if you over torque it, you will snap this in the head, and then you're gonna have a real front problem to take care of. Well, it's not that fun, because what you would have to do is probably use an extractor, and if the extractor doesn't work, you have to drill it and then turn on the engine while you have like a suction, like a vacuum, a shop vac, or an evacuator, a fluid evacuator, and suck all the metal shavings out while the oil pressure is shooting out the top. So yeah, well, that completely fell on the ground, so nobody cares. And this thing, does it have an O-ring? It looks like it has an O-ring, but this one did not come with a new O-ring. Let me check the old sensor, which is on the ground now. Fuck. Oh my god, it's fucking hot. Yeah. Zoom. The looks of it, there is no oil ring. Well, O-ring. It's an O-ring fit, O-ring seal. So, sorry. So that means this has an O-ring in there. Well, welcome back to the video. Sorry, I had to delete a bunch of videos because I had no memory left on my phone. So now, as you can see, it looks like there's an O-ring in there. Yeah, there's an O-ring. I can see it from here. They did not supply us with a new O-ring, so we're just gonna have to wing it, and hopefully this thing does not lose oil pressure or leak out oil somewhere and screw us. That would suck. That'd be so bad. That's why you would go to Honda, or when you buy this part, make sure you get a new O-ring and place it in there very carefully, because if you don't, you will end up either, stay still, there you go, you will end up dropping the thing in there. So you gotta be O-ring in there. It's a very tight spot, so very careful. Sorry, I had to place the camera down, but I need both hands so I can properly torque this and not snap it. And what you can do is, if you're tightening it, if you don't understand, well, the more your hand is outwards towards the handle, the more torque you're gonna apply, and not know that you're applying that much torque. So put your hand closer, like it's a shorter stubby ratchet, and just see, I can't really move that much here, but here I I can move more. So mid, and that's it. I'm not going that tight because it doesn't really need to be that tight. So that's in there. New sensor's done. Yay. Now for exhaust sensor, bank 1, sensor 2, somewhere. So now we are under the whip. There you go. Okay. So we are under the thing doing bank 1 and bank 2, sensor 2. So what I've done is, oh, let me pull the sheet out. Completely useless. So what I have done is I have hold on. What the camera? Sorry. So what I have done is I have I cut the wires for the O2 sensor. This is bank 2 sensor 2 we're changing because it has slow response. Heater circuit slow response. So what the heater circuit does is preheats the sensor so it gets a better reading for emissions. And it can also start for the cold start. So what I did was, if you are using an O2 sensor socket, they have an opening on the side of the socket like an open end wrench. They will end up stripping, especially if there's a lot of rust. And if once you strip the O2 sensor, you're kind of fucked. So what I usually do is, if I am for sure changing a sensor, like no doubt about it, I usually just cut the wires off. That way I can just stick a 22mm in there, and that way a 22mm wrench or a socket will work just fine. I would use a 6-point, honestly, in my opinion, I would use a 6-point socket just for, you know, biggest 12-point strips, 6-point grips. So if you have a 6-point socket or a wrench, perfect. So that's in there. So one second. I hope you can see this. Ow. Right there, you need both hands. Wow, that son of a bitch is in there. Oh, I gotta get another one. Well. Okay. Always somebody gave that our best shot. Because that sucker is in there. Let me see if there is a I do not know if I have WD-40 in this car. Oh, my A4. Actually, it might. I don't know where the hell it could be. It is fucking hot. Oh my god. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. So, I had to use a 2-wrench style setup because the 22 socket is not deep enough, or 7/8. So what I had to do was I do this, and then leverage. Leverage is the best coverage. So you're gonna do it this way, and then change the O2 sensors. Now, sometimes if you use heat on an O2 sensor, use a torch, that'll melt the inside threads in the O2 and they'll get stuck. Well, the outside threads in the O2 and get stuck on the inside threads, the female end of the exhaust pipe. And then you'll have to use a thread chaser. So the best bet is to penetrating oil it and then run it before you remove the O2 sensor, so that the heat and the penetrating oil will work together and go inside the threads of the O2 sensor and break it loose. I didn't have any BB blast. I just relied on engine heat because I literally just drove this car to get the 24mm socket that I needed to change this thing. This is the new O2 right here. It already comes pre-lubricated with anti-seize. Anti-seize is not the best thing to use. Oops, sorry. I would never really use anti-seize on one of these. I would just use copper. It's called copper grease. Copper grease is very good for high heat stuff. To you know, it's better than anti-seize. Anti-seize turns into pretty much super glue and locks everything up after a while. Now, when you're tightening the new O2, you don't really have to go bonkers on tightening because it has a crush washer. So you just go that. You don't have to go super tight. It's not really a moving part, it stays stationary. So that part you don't have to really crank down on. So just make sure you crush down the crush washer and you'll feel it stop after a while. And that's it. Done. Now you run the wire through the top. As close to the top as possible so you can reach it. This thing has no clips, so I'll have to zip tie it later. Jesus, come on. What the hell? Alright, super sorry. I am trying to fish this thing somewhere up there. Ow! That burned. Alright, I guess I have to reach from the bottom. Oh, hell no. Shit. I don't know if you can see it from here. Probably try to see it from you while I'm doing it. Try to fish it. Yeah. Oh, shit. Jeez Louise, I can't even fucking... It has to go all the way through that gap. What a pain. Bar. Come on, you piece of shit. Yeah, now my fucking fold fell down there. Now this is gonna be a fucking nightmare to get out. This hot ass engine fucking bay. God damn it. Rescue mission complete. Jesus Christ, what a fucking pain. This is the problem when you have your equipment, your camera equipment stuck in the fucking Ford Ranger. And now you see the connector right there on the bottom, which is a pain in the ass to get out because Yes, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah, I got it. So now what you do is you take this. Come on, you bitch. Clip that in there. Honestly, this is the dumbest thing I gripe about Honda. Honda will make the mounts for the connectors on the sensor side, not the harness side. If the harness just stayed stationary into the bracket and you could just unbolt and clip the sensor, that'd be great. But Honda made it in a way that this connects to the bracket, so that way you would have to get this loose first to get the sensor out, instead of putting the bracket clip on the connector for the harness side itself. So dumb. But whatever. Just saying. So far the wire is run. I mean, I don't have zip ties on me. Actually, my dad might have zip ties. Hold on. Alright, so now you're just making sure there's no oil leaks. Just from the looks of it, doesn't really look like it. Aren't you? Oh well. Jeez, that burned. We already erased the codes, took it off the jack stands, and so far, well, I would have to drive it and make sure, but I don't think it'll come back on. So I think that's pretty much it for now. I mean, if it does come back on, that would suck. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching my channel, Autopilot, where we fix shit boxes like this every day, because I get no days off and somebody needs their car fixed, and that's the only problem, being a mechanic in the family. Everybody wants their car fixed for free on your days off, on your vacation. Even your own cars you have to fix. You don't get a break. I never get a break. But it's what it is. So right now it's fluctuating. It's doing its relearn, but whatever. Sorry, that kind of scared me for a bit. Off. On. But anyways, guys, sorry. I'm just watching this idle fluctuate. It's so weird. I've never seen that before in my life. But anyways, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, negative, positive, don't matter. If you hate the video, if you like the video, tell me, show me. But anyways, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace. Well, guys, so far the check engine light has not come back on. Car is running great. That fluctuation in idle was the AC being on, but I don't know, or it had to relearn the O2s. But check engine light's not on. Eco mode now works, because it wasn't working before when I was heading to my mom's. But yeah, it's fixed. Well, guys, thank you for watching. If you'd like to see, like, subscribe, comment, and happy 4th of July. Peace.